All right, hello. I'm Danielle Peasley. I have served as the president of the Down Syndrome Connection here the last few years, and we think it's so important to be able to come at you and let you guys know the state of our organization. So we have an annual meeting where we review what the last year looked like and what our goals are for this next year. And so we are doing that virtually for you this year. So our plan for today is just to talk about what our mission is as an organization, to let you know who is serving on our board, and then review what happened in 2020, talk about financials, and then what our plans are for this year and for the future. Our mission, as hopefully you know, is to facilitate inclusion and respect for individuals with Down syndrome here in Northwest Arkansas. And we are hoping to give them the access to support they need from birth till throughout their life. And we do that by connecting them to other families, to resources, and by holding programming and educational events and providing new parent support for our families. We just wanted to mention a quick thank you to board members who have served their terms here on the board, all volunteer. We will miss them and are so grateful for all that they did. We wanted to just mention a quick goodbye to Cindy Meza and to Jill Smallwood. They will be missed. To let you guys know who's serving on the board, here's a quick slide of those names and what they do during the day. But we've also, Lindsay Dover made a great little short video that highlights each of them, and you can see pictures and faces and see who is that's behind this group. But I'm Danielle Peasley. I have 3 kids, but my son who's 5 is Bradley, and he has Down syndrome, which is what got me involved in this group in the first place. And like I mentioned, I've been able to serve as the president for the last couple of years, but I am thrilled to be able to hand that torch off to new Danielle Bischoff, who is the new president. She is amazing. She has so many talents and skills, have served on a number of boards, including Kansas City's Down Syndrome Guild. And she currently is the VP of IT at Tyson. But I'd love to introduce you to her.
Hi, so I'm Danielle, and I am also excited to be president this year. Big shoes to fill with Danielle, but the organization's doing amazing things, and I'm just very honored to be a part of it.
And then we wanted to introduce, for those of you who haven't got the pleasure yet of meeting Lindsay Dover, she is our part-time program coordinator, and she has been with us since June of 2019. And what she has done in the last year and a half is amazing. She is fantastic. She's carried out over 100 activities and did an amazing job at shifting our very well laid out plan for last year to all virtual, and really loves what she does. Lindsay?
Yes, hi, thank you, Danielle. I'm Lindsay. Miss Lindsay, as I'm most often called by all of my kiddos. I love this job. It's a blessing to be able to serve you and your families. It just brings me a lot of joy. We have an office that is located in the Center for Nonprofits, which is the old St. Mary's Hospital in Rogers, close to downtown Rogers. We're in Suite 1407 on the first floor, which is great that we have an office there. We also have a lending library full of great resources that we would lend out to anyone. If you would like to visit that library, let me know and we can make that happen.
Well, I'm happy to just review what 2020 looked like for us. We had a wonderful calendar all laid out and that switched a little bit, but before the pandemic hit, we were able to get some great things done. We held our annual State of the Organization meeting. We had the first local Down syndrome conference. It was a day conference here, and we brought in some Down syndrome experts and had a really great time with parents that were able to just come, drive the 20 minutes to our office to be able to spend the day together learning, and that was great. We were able to do our first medical outreach training at Mercy Hospital, and now have plans to be able to do that virtually for the other local hospitals, and I'm excited for that and be able to outreach and help the medical staff here in Northwest Arkansas. We have little fundraisers throughout the year, some t-shirt sales and bingo nights, and our biggest fundraiser is the Step Up for Down Syndrome walk. But this year, with it being virtual, we did a week of virtual fun events. We are still working on having our social activities that are socially distant. So we were able to do a Christmas gathering where we did a drive-through Polar Express, and are still working on letting our parents and our new parents gather either safely in parking lots from a distance or virtually. Programming has continued to be a success and has just shifted to virtual, and Lindsay has done a great job of keeping kids excited about that, yet still focused on the important pillars that we have. And we continue, of course, to do our new parent support. This last year, we were able to deliver 5 new baskets to babies that we knew of here in Northwest Arkansas, and 6 new families moved in here. And we're excited this year already. It's February 2nd, and we've already delivered 5 new parent baskets this year. So we are growing and excited to be able to support those parents right from the get-go. We changed our programming a lot, as we've mentioned, but one thing that has been a blessing in disguise is that Lindsay's actually able to meet more frequently with the different groups. Where we used to have a monthly meeting, she's able to meet weekly now with a lot of different groups. And so that has been a lot of fun. And we're just working on figuring out the best way to bring information and support to you as parents and medical and teachers. So we're just figuring out the best way to do that virtually. What usually is our walk turned into a week of fun events, and you can see kind of the schedule that we did there. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of community support. We talked to princesses, had a comedian, did scavenger hunt, and for it being a very big unknown, we thought it was a huge success. We really appreciate all the support that our families and teams, sponsors and donors gave us, and had a lot of fun with that. And we ended that week with a drive-through at the stadium where we normally hold the walk. And it was so fun to still be able to see faces of families. And in talking to parents afterwards, everyone really enjoyed being able to see each other and really appreciated the community support and those fun princesses and drum lines and volunteers that came out to support us. It was a lot of fun, and we're so grateful for your support and need it. That's, you know, how we're able to continue to provide the resources that we do. With the craziness of the year, we were still very excited that we still were able to raise over $50,000 at that at our Step Up event. And that is what's allowed us to keep our office and keep Miss Lindsay and keep our programming going. And we ended the year with a fun, we still got to have Santa come and visit us, but instead of meeting all together and having brunch, we were able to drive through and see him and have families individually get out and take some pictures. And it was so fun to still be able to see you and bring that Christmas cheer. And we look forward to when we can gather a little different, but are excited for the creativity of our group and the committees that are able to bring this fun and joy, just looking a little bit different.
So now I'd like to jump in and share just a little bit about the financials for the Down Syndrome Connection. A couple of takeaways really, as we looked at 20, like we've already talked about, there was a lot of change that happened, and what we really wanted to focus on was keeping everyone safe. And it was important to us financially that we made sure that our expenses were in line with the revenue that we anticipated coming in. And like Danielle mentioned, we are so appreciative of the support that we got from families, from sponsors, from donors, to still continue to have the funds come in that we need to roll out those amazing programs that you also saw. So 20 was about adapting, and it was just making sure that with all of the unknowns, we kept our costs aligned with the revenue. And so as we look at 21, what you'll see is something that's very conservative. Again, we've got a lot of unknowns this next year, and so we wanted to take a conservative approach to that. And you'll see the 21, you know, the revenue we anticipate and the costs, we're keeping those again in line with what we anticipate coming in and taking a very conservative approach. So we keep very close eye on our financials and make sure that those are in alignment. Okay, so let's take a deep dive into 2020 financials to give you a better feel for where exactly the money's coming in and the expenses are going out. And so a couple of key takeaways from this is that as we had all of the change last year, we adjusted our budget to be in line with those changes. And so you can see the revenue that came in through contributions, through the fundraising, was even more than we had anticipated from a budget perspective. So that was a fantastic position to be in. And then as we looked at expenses, we made sure that we kept them very much in line and a very close eye on those, knowing that we might have several unknowns with COVID last year. And so the bottom line is we're in a strong position. We're able to very much keep our costs in line with the revenue coming in, and we're able to support those amazing programs and the amazing staff in Lindsay and even the office location that we have. So looking at 21 and the priorities, you know, this is really just building on the amazing things that we were able to accomplish in 2020, and with a little bit of emphasis in a few areas. And so one of those is really just to continue to expand the programming. Lindsay and team just hit that out of the park this last year, and that's something that we're absolutely going to continue to grow. Of course, keeping in mind the safety of our families and volunteers during the pandemic, so you'll continue to see us adjust to delivering online. The second item is really continuing with that new parent support. Like Danielle mentioned, we're seeing now more than ever the need for this, and we're providing not only new parent baskets, but we've got an amazing new magazine that we just printed and are excited to share with the community. The next item is around fundraising, and we will continue with the typical fundraising that you've seen from our organization historically, and we're looking at some other ways to bring in additional funds. And again, another thank you to all of you in the community, the families, the sponsors, for the support you've given us to date. And we're excited about continuing to bring in those funds to do more great things. An area that we're really going to double down on this next year is in education and medical outreach. And we've got some teams in place that are going to help us volunteer to do more of that this year. And so that's something that we really want to focus on. Another area of expanded focus is around our volunteer network and making sure that we have committees to roll out all of these great initiatives. And so again, while keeping everyone safe, we're still looking at building up our network so that we can roll out these programs.
And I guess that leads us to programs. So I'm going to give you a very quick overview that, you know, we do have program groups. These are our program groups you can see on the screen that, you know, allow us to serve every age group with something that's meaningful. And I believe the next slide kind of covers our pillars, trying to touch on these pillars as we think about and plan programming so that it's not only fun, but also meaningful and educational as well. And then this is our amazing calendar for 2021, and believe it or not, the second page there is just January through June. So as mentioned earlier, going virtual has actually allowed us to meet more frequently and more often, which I think is a great thing. And you know, after COVID is over, I think that'll have a blended approach, doing both in person and virtual. So this is all the great things we have going on with all the different groups and things that include the whole family. Just a quick preview of what we're doing this first 6 months of the year with our older groups, that's teens and adults. We started the badge program. So we're spending 3 weeks on a unit, and the units there are listed on the screen. Obviously touch on the pillars, but you know, participants will earn a badge for, you know, participating in that program. So it gives us something fun, something to work for, and look forward to getting in the mail, because I mail out the badges and they're on stickers and you get to put it on your badge sheet. And then lastly, I'm really excited about our new DSC NWA EDU. So offering educational seminars throughout the entire year that are on topics that you guys told us that you wanted to learn about through the survey that we did. And so we're excited to bring that to you guys.
Well, I mean, that's really kind of how we wanted to sum up, and we just wanted to remind you that we are very open to feedback. We are, you know, we're here to serve you, so we want you to reach out in any way that you can. You know, you can reach out directly to Lindsay, we can reach us by Facebook, by email, by phone. And then just a couple of reminders, if you do know of a new family that either moved here or a new baby born, there's a very high chance that we have not yet learned about them. We're working on getting our connection set up a little stronger with the hospitals. But if you know of a new family, we'd love to know about them. And if we already heard about them, great. But please let us know so we can offer them the support that we can. On that same note, if you hear of a family that is spending the night in a hospital, you know, they've got checked in inpatient, we have a little box of sunshine that we'd like to get them just so that they know that our group is thinking about them. And if there's any event in the community that's going on that you think that our families would be interested in, please let us know because we'd love to get that word out as well. So we're here for you. So please communicate with us and we'll try and do the same for you, get that word out for you. And like we said, we are here, all three of us and the board, ready to answer your questions and to serve you. So please let us know, give us feedback on how you feel like the programming and events are going and things that you'd like to see. We're really excited for what we've been able to offer and are really can't do it without the support that we've had from you and sponsors and donors. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.